To the question if Nei Gong Master is enlightened or not, I would like to say a straight answer, which might be very helpful for many people. The answer is that not necessarily. The energy work that we do in Nei Gong, Nei Dan, it doesn't really involve for sure a development and deeper understanding about the nature of reality and the nature of ourselves. In fact, especially in those systems that are highly focused on a very mechanical approach to the development of vital energy, they don't ensure any kind of understanding, deeper understanding about who we are. We have to understand this, that if we work on an energetic level, we have a result on an energetic aspect, which could also be influential in some aspect, in some ways, to the way that we progress, and we might have some glimpse about who we really are, but not necessarily. In the same way that if we work with the body, we have body achievement. If we work with the mind, we have mind achievement. If we work with the energy, we have energy achievement. But consciousness, who we really are, it goes beyond those aspects, because it doesn't belong to the manifested level of the world. Although for sure empowering our energy level, it should imply a development, a refinement of ourselves, and eventually even certain not experiences, because experiences they come and go, but a certain recognition of the true nature of ourselves. But this is not always the case. That's why I'm making this video. For many people might have the thought of having a particular abilities, it means something else, or having a particular city, this is the way they are called in India, I think. Things that are considered to be extraordinary, abilities are considered to be extraordinary, they equal that the person is in a very high state. This is not the case, for the reason that I said before, that any achievement that we can have on energetic level, mind level, body level, they stay within the confined level of the temporary aspect of life. And our nature goes beyond. Sometimes I get these emails from mystical seekers, from people who are trying to find something which goes beyond, such as is your system leads to immortality, because probably they read some kind of text which I don't, and they go into the narrative connected to those texts. And our nature is already immortal. It's just that we don't know, we never paid attention to it in the right way. And I will explain now something very crucial, which is why I think that sometimes even the Nei Gong practice may lead to the opposite direction. So first of all, let's try to define what we mean by enlightenment. Enlightenment is the complete dissolution of the sense of the I, of being a separated entity, of having a mind, of being confined into this container which involves mind and body. It is a state, it is not an experience. We might have some experiences, but that could introduce us to a different functioning, to the recognition. But the recognition itself, it's not something that comes and goes. When it happens and when it is seen, it is a state that it is actually recognized effortlessly. So the purpose of doing a practice such as Nei Gong, meditation, yoga, pranayama, whatever you wanna, whatever you name it, those practices actually, in the idea of the spiritual seeker, of the practitioner, involve the fact that we are doing something to achieve something else. So to achieve a particular state. And this is totally wrong, because enlightenment is actually our true nature. It's not something that we practice to become enlightened. It is actually a recognition based on our base nature. In some traditions they call it substratum nature. So in something which is already there. So the fact that we practice a system to get to this achievement, recognition, it's something completely wrong. It is something that puts us in a very wrong direction, because my ego, my own sense of I, might even become bigger, because instead of recognizing that eventually I don't exist as a separate entity, as a separate mind, as a separate body from the rest, gives the idea of somebody sitting down, doing a particular practice, and this kind of subject-object relationship, I sitting to do a particular practice to achieve a specific goal, it's actually reinforcing the sense of the identity. I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but instead of recognizing that the I doesn't really exist, the individual mind, it's an appearance, we use it, we do something to get to a particular state. So this is how actually the practice of Nei Gong, in a particular practice, might go into the wrong direction. If your goal is to understand who you are, it's better to find the very few teachers in the world who have a correct understanding of the matter, who can guide you towards that direction in the beginning, who can put you in that state, sometimes even just with their presence, and deepening this kind of understanding, which means turning the attention towards the subject, not doing anything, a mantra, an exercise, a visualization, a particular practice to go somewhere else, but rather turning the attention inwardly and watching where this sense of I rises. And this is something called, for instance, self-inquiring, something that Ramana Maharshi indirectly pointed out, and I'm creating a playlist on my YouTube channel to share some of the very few teachers who I think were in a very high state, not alive, none of them, that can possibly provide a better perspective. Because if we have the right perspective about ourselves, then the Nei Qigong practice can be, or the Nei Gong practice can be a wonderful tool. First of all, because it builds a strong health and it enhances our way of functioning in the world. Because when we have more energy, we can perform anything better. So we have no troubles. We have no body pain that is taking our attention to body issues. We have no mind wandering around, which might create difficulty in actually focusing and grasping things, because there's no clarity. We have no emotional instability that can trouble us during the day. So going back to the very first question, which I started the video with, is a Nei Gong Master enlightened? The question will be, is that Nei Gong Master free from his own or her own thoughts and emotions and a sense of I? This is how we can evaluate that. Unfortunately, unless we have an experience of that state, it's not easy or possible maybe for us to recognize that somebody is in that particular state. Because externally it might look like a normal person, taking actions and making some decisions and running life normally, but the core system inside that person is very different from what it is a mind, trying to make choices amongst many possibilities, or trying to make things happen for their own goals. So it's very different for us to understand if somebody is really in that state. Especially nowadays, the situation is more than confused than before because of the flourishing of the internet, which is an amazing thing, because we can get access to beautiful teachings and teachers, and we can listen, we can improve our understanding of this matter. But unfortunately there is so much proposal, especially most of them trying to appeal to our egoistic mind with particular achievement, with particular theories, with wonderful explanation of this chi matter and how it involves meridians and refinement, all this kind of entertaining thing. So if your goal is actually getting to the point of realizing your true nature, there's nothing else you have to do. You just have to turn the attention towards who is looking, be quiet, and eventually, by deepening into this space, you might realize that you were already there. The reason why sometimes we get involved into this kind of practice, like the ones that we do, it's because we are unawakened. We are sleeping. That's the reason why we get sold courses, we get sold promises, we get sold special abilities, entertaining stuff. When a teacher, for instance, does a Qi mission, we have to understand that it is actually it's a quite dense manifestation of reality. We're not talking about something subtle which involves more the third dantian, the shan dantian of the Dai, whatever you want to call it. So it is something that if you do the right thing, the right exercises, you might get there. But the thing is that you're not going to be happy, because then you want to have more. And because it's just an experience, it's a temporary thing that you're able to do. It's a temporary thing, like in life. It's the nature of the human mind of not being satisfied by that. Because eventually we are trying to be more, we are trying to discover that thing that gives birth to everything. Call it God, infinite, whatever you want to call it. Any name, it's wrong. it's not the thing itself. But we get sold all those things that are very great distractions, and we put on the pedestal people who have certain abilities, which at the end of the day they're just people like us. They have developed certain skills because they have practiced a certain method. In the same way, when you go to the gym, you develop muscles. The same way, when you practice vital energy, you increase your energetic level. The same way, when you practice your mind, you become sharper. You're able to do more things with it. But when we talk about alignment, we're talking about something which doesn't belong to these three levels. Although the energetic aspect, if it is directed in the right way, might help us for the reason that I expressed before, not having issues with the body, having a great energetic level to be able to withstand experiences and have a clarity in the mind that might allow us to go in that direction. But when we look at Nei Gong practices, we have to look at them as an amplifier. It's like we're just amplifying our own personal inclination. So if your inclination, if your goal are more, let's say, spiritual, deeper than just doing a Fagong, the Nei Gong, Nei Qigong practices could be an amazing tool to have a good life and to go in that direction. If this is not our goal, and we might even seen some teachers performing extraordinary things, it doesn't really mean that the Nei Gong, Nei Dan, internal alchemy work is going to take us in that direction. Because we can be just normal human beings, troubled by the mind, living in time, living in space, having worries, having fears, and still be able to do certain things because we have achieved a certain mastery of it. So I hope that this video could have brought a little bit of light into this subject, and I'm creating a playlist on my YouTube channel that you can enjoy to go deeper, if this is your interest, into the nature of the mind, what it is liberation, what it is realization. Because for all of that, we don't need to acquire or perform anything else. It is a quite natural state that it's part of us. So the idea of doing something to even achieve it, it's a contradictory thing. In the beginning, it is needed for sure to have some kind of pointing towards that, because nobody has told us that we are that already. So that's the reason why I'm creating this playlist, and feel free to comment below or share your doubts or experiences, so that I could produce better content for you because my goal, I have this job. I don't have really a goal, but since I'm occupying this position in life, I have this job as a teacher in this aspect, in this field of the human kingdom, let's put it in this way. I would like to bring some fact and shed some clarity on it, because there is lots of misconceptions, confusion, people are taking advantage of us. It's normal, it's good. At the same time, it means that we are still playing like kids, but for people who are more mature, which I wish, to have around me, I want to do my best. That's why I invited you to share your comments or opinion on this matter.